the Bible is not a series of disconnected stories. It's a series of connected stories that point to the true and the better Jesus. Because the story of Adam and Eve is not just about the first man and woman, but there's a true and better Adam who passed the test in the garden, and his obedience is ascribed to us. There's a true and better Abel, though innocently stained with blood, that cries out for our condemnation, but doesn't condemn us, but acquits us. There's a true and better Abraham who answered the call of God, left everything that was comfortable and familiar, and went into the void to call all the people of God. There's a true and better Isaac, the son of laughter and grace, who was not just offered up by his father on the mountain, but was really a sacrifice for all of us. There's a true and better Jacob who wrestled and took the blow of justice that we deserve from his father. So like Jacob, we can walk with a limp and thank God for the grace to keep us going. There's a true and better Joseph who sits at the right hand of the king, forgives those who betrays him, but uses his power to save everybody in his family. There's a true and better rock of Moses that, though struck with the rod of justice, gives us a flood for redemption. There's a true and better Moses who stands in the gap of our sins and mediates for all of us. There's a true and better Job, though an innocent sufferer for what he didn't deserve, intercedes and saves all his foolish friends. There's a true and better David whose victory for his people was never lifted a stone, but he is the true stone. There's a true and better Esther who didn't just risk losing an earthly palace, but lost his heavenly palace, who didn't just give his life, but gave his life to save his people. There's a true and better Jonah who was cast out into the sea so all of us could be brought in. There's a true and better Passover lamb. He's innocent, he's perfect, he's helpless, he was slain so we wouldn't die in his place. There's a true and better Paul who was knocked off his horse of pride but destroyed pride so we could have access to the throne of grace. There's a true and better pastor who's trusting people to communicate his words, but God always has the final say. There's a true and better choir who fills the temple with the worship of heaven, echoing medleys that sound just like God, that will give a sweet smelling sound to heaven. There's a true and better usher ministry who sits as the watchman over our souls so that no enemy can separate us from the love of God. There's a true and better deacons ministry who doesn't fight with the shepherd but herds the sheep so the sheep don't die. There's a true and better culinary ministry who ensures that everything that goes into my body will transform my body. There's a true and better church, one that is not constructed by the hands of men, but one that is constructed by the hands of God. There's a true and better worship order where our focus is to look at Jesus, worship Jesus, stare at Jesus, rejoice over Jesus, honor Jesus. That's who Jesus is. Jesus is the true temple, the true priest, the true sacrifice, the true prophet, the true king, the true prince, the true light, the true bread. Jesus is our high priest. He's our high covenant. He's our friend. He's our love leader. He's our lover. He's our lover on every side. And the Bible is not a series of disconnected stories. It's a series of one story that points to one person, and his name is Jesus.